Okay, now imagine you're at Bob's Big Boy.
Very well.
It's between 4 and 6 any weekday. You're there for the $3.15 dinner. You got 5 dinners to choose from. You got your plump and juicy chicken.
Plump.
Deep-fried fish fillets.
Deep.
Thick sliced ham steak. Ground beef with onion rings. Or grilled liver and onions.
Could you run that by me one more time? Is it coming back or not?
Bonds is gonna save you.
Save me?
Yes, you. With super weekly specials, too.
This week, Fonz will save you on Table King freshly ground beef. Bulk pack, 89 cents a pound. Washington-grown Bing cherries, 47 cents a pound. Farmer John meat weeders, 89 cents. Quantities are limited. Plus, check this week's paper for a holiday insert with money-saving double coupons. All Fonz stores are open July 4th.
Fonz is gonna save you. Save you. Save you. Fonz is gonna save me and you.
Just a reminder, tomorrow's pitchers, Bob Nepper and Fernando Valenzuela on July the 4th on KABC and the Dodger Radio Network. Warm-up time will be at 4:55 and game time at 5:15. Give me a chance to tell you now. Have a very happy, safe, and sane 4th of July. The Astros won it easily, and now from Houston's Astrodome, for Jerry Doggett and Ross Porter, this is Vin Scully wishing you all a very pleasant good evening.
Who does most of the work on this beauty? Me. And the boys, the Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. When I need a part, I know Pep Boys has it. New and rebuilt parts, tools, you name it, they've got it. At prices nothing short of amazing.
Give your car a lift. Get a Hollywood heavy-duty hydraulic jack. Durable, light, individually tested. 2-ton model is now just $688 at Pep Boys. Limit 2.
The Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack. The 3 best friends my car ever had.
In our neighborhood, summer means fun, exercise, and 7-Eleven.
1 and 2. I almost slipped my whoozit on that one. Could you keep up? Yeah, but I won't be able to walk tomorrow. We deserve a medal. No, we deserve a snack. You're gonna like the freedom.
All summer, 7-Eleven's close by with healthy snacks to reward a healthy workout.
How's this for exercise? 1, 2.
At your 7-Eleven, freedom's waiting for you.
At Bank of America, we'll help you get what you want from your deposit investments.
I want $100 a month.
You get the income you want.
I want $200 a month for 4 years.
Income you can count on.
I like to see things grow.
And the growth you want, plus the liquidity you need.
Come to California's leading bank and get what you want from your investment.
Bank on the leader, Bank of America.
Introducing Burger Time, the home video game where you're a chef being chased by food that constantly disagrees with you. Like hot dogs that have a taste for revenge.
Burger Time.
Eggs that don't turn over easy. And pickles that are very, very sour.
Burger Time.
Now for Intellivision, coming this fall for Atari 2600, Apple II, Aquarius, and IBM home computers.
Burger Time.
From Mattel Electronics, don't be surprised if you're on the menu.
Coming up, a special KTTV presentation. Roger Moore hosts James Bond, the first 21 years, featuring scenes from the latest Bond thriller.
The world 21 years ago. A time of deepening crisis. Political unrest throughout the globe. And just over the horizon were even more awesome perils. To the prophets of doom, the conclusion was obvious. Planet Earth was spinning rapidly towards a terrifying end. It was at this critical moment in our history that the leaders of the Western world turned to one man. A man of action. A man of style. A man who could succeed where other men would fail. A Man who could say then just as he does today.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
I've been asked to state my feelings about a fellow named Bond, James Bond. Well, as I see it, 007 is really a 10. He's our modern-day version of the great heroes who appeared from time to time throughout history. There were many like him in the past, pioneers, soldiers, lawmen, explorers, people who all went out and put their lives on the line for the cause of good. Bond is fearless, skilled, witty, courageous, optimistic, and one other thing, he always gets his girl. He meets up with some pretty terrifying enemies, but somehow with his determination, skill, and yes, the help of a good script, he always triumphs over them. James Bond is a man of honor. Maybe it sounds old-fashioned, but I believe he's a symbol of real value to the free world. Of course, some critics might say that Bond is nothing more than an actor in the movies. But then we've all got to start somewhere.
007 is here, sir. He'll see you in a minute.
Money, Penny. What gives?
Me, given an ounce of encouragement. You never take me to dinner looking like this, James. You never take me to dinner, period. James, where have you been?
Much too far from you, darling.
Oh, James. Oh, only more so. Heartless brute, letting me pine away without even a postcard.
Pine no more. Cocktails at my place. 80s, just the two of us.
James.
Money, Penny? A feast for my eyes.
What about the rest of you?
Well, I was going to get around to that.
I think the thing that I like about James Bond the most is he's British. I think that's it.
James has to be one of the world's most attractive men, which is probably why he's usually surrounded by the world's most attractive women.
I believe that James Bond is one of the two great lovers of the world. Modesty prevents me from telling you who the other one is.
James Bond. Wherever you are. Who loves you, baby?
I don't know how to say goodbye.
Actions speak louder than words.
You're so right.
For all of us, James Bond over the years has kindled the spirit of adventurism in all. In many respects, he has been a sort of composite Three Musketeers from the modern day. I frequently wished in the anguish of diplomacy that we could resort to the kind of direct action which is his characteristic form.
All right, keep your hair on. Put me down!
It's easy to understand the universal appeal of James Bond. Women find him sexy and attractive. Men admire his daredevil exploits and courage. And children consider him a real storybook hero. And to think he does all of this without a single candelabra and a piano.
Conserve your gas supply. Speak only when necessary.
As a sub-lieutenant, Commander Bond passed out top of his submarine training class. He had a distinguished career as a junior officer in diesel-electric and midget submarines. Bond was highly effective underwater. His athletic build was ideally suited to this type of work. His muscular frame and long legs resulted in a hydrodynamically efficient, highly maneuverable underwater body, rather like a tadpole. Unfortunately, Bond was just a little bit too irresponsible and unpredictable to command a nuclear submarine. For example, one or two Wrens had to leave the service in a hurry. He was therefore transferred to Special Intelligence.
We're very jealous of him in America because he keeps saving the Queen and the country all the time. He hasn't done a damn thing for America. And we're pretty sick of it. As a matter of fact, we tried to have him killed a couple of times, but they sent back about 11 CIA guys just beating all of it.
James Bond, of course, is a fascinating, romantic figure. He, very challenging sort of missions he's been on. He's accomplished so much, apparently. But, I'm a little puzzled as to just how he is successful. He violates some of the ordinary rules, because the job of a spy is to be unobtrusive.
I admire your courage, Miss...
Trench. Sylvia Trench. I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
He has to be much more the gray man in a crowd who just sort of isn't noticed by anyone. The man who can't catch the waiter's eye in a restaurant, for instance.
Yes, sir. The lady will have a Bacardi on the rocks.
For the gentleman, vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
Touche.
Commander James Bond, recruited to the British Secret Service from the Royal Navy, licensed to kill, and has done so on numerous occasions. Many lady friends, but married only once. Wives killed.
All right, you've made your point.
I'm very glad we still have some spies like James Bond on our side. Some of them less obtrusive, less dramatic, but still very effective.
When James Bond wanted to learn about parachuting, he came to the Red Devils, and we taught him all he knows. He was an excellent student, but insisted on doing things his own way. And the final straw came when he broke the basic of rules. And that is, before you leave the aeroplane, you always check that you've got your parachute off.
thing I like about James Bond the best is that I don't believe he's a womanizer. I think he just likes women. All women.
Some watch for the moon. La da 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 mango tree. Make hulu.
Underneath the mango tree, my honey and me.
Who is that? Hey, where you are?
I can assure you my intentions are strictly honorable.
Now, how would I describe James Bond? Well, let's see. A thief. Always stole the good-looking girls. A lecher. Always got the good-looking girls.
Pick one.
You knew the answer before it was given. Strangely enough, somehow, so did I.
Now in the duel of the disposable razors between Bic and Good News.
Hold it, boys. Schick has a new disposable that beats them both.
New Schick disposable?
Right, this new Schick disposable beats Good News for sharpness.
This Schick is sharper than Good News?
Yep, and Schick beats Bic for overall performance.
You know she's right. Why fight it?
Try the disposable that beats them both. The new Schick disposable.
It was the time of the month when I needed relief. If I asked my husband, he'd probably say, take Tylenol. But it's not that simple. There are certain times when women want more. That's when I take Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pamprin. It has as much aspirin-free pain reliever as extra-strength Tylenol for those aches and pains. And it's got more, a special ingredient to fight cramps, something Tylenol doesn't have. Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pamprin. It's got more for when you want more.
Tonight's special presentation of the 21 years of James Bond is presented by Toyota, who reminds you that it's a good feeling to buckle up for safety. And
presented by McDonald's, where it's fun to be together.
McDonald's menu.
The Peanuts gang has come to McDonald's. When you buy a medium or large soft drink, you can get a 16-ounce Camp Snoopy glass at a special price. There's Charlie Brown, Lucy.
There's no excuse for not being properly prepared.
Snoopy. Collect all 5. But don't miss the boat. Supplies are limited. And for even more Peanuts fun, each McDonald's glass comes with a coupon good for $1.50 off admission to the all-new Camp Snoopy at Knott's Berry Farm.
The Toyota Standard Bed Truck presents the 5998 workout. A workout that shows you how the biggest Standard engine in its class helped make Toyota the #1 selling line of import trucks in America. And with that kind of power and performance, you get a lot of working out for your 5998.
Now that's doing it right.
And after a workout, a shower can be mighty refreshing.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
James Bond is really a fascinating character. I mean, I would like to be James Bond. I mean, the guy is not a bodybuilder or not a weightlifter, but he can pick up anything. I mean, look at all the girls he can pick up. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Plenty.
But of course you are.
Plenty O'Toole.
Named after your father, perhaps?
Would you like some help? On the craps, I mean.
It's very kind of you.
I think that the popularity in America of Prince Andrew would not have been possible without the sort of dry run of James Bond. I mean, you're ready to take this womanizing, swinging character.
You're not trying to take advantage of me, are you?
Thought never crossed my mind. Just when it was getting interesting.
Some girls don't seem to realize that cigarette smoke is bad for my health.
That man Bond, he's so energetic. I mean, he drives at enormous speeds, and he runs, he gets into fights, and then, of course, he has all those girls to look after. I just don't know where he gets the energy. He even talks fast. I mean, talks faster than I do. But you know, the thing that really puzzles me is now here you've got this all-action, fast-moving firecracker of a fella like Bond. Whatever possessed you to call him Jimmy?
It was in 1962 that James Bond started to drive, and that's when I started to race. He's always been my hero, and of course, he's a hell of a driver.
I got you now. Lean over.
The great thing about Bond is that he doesn't really need a fast car. It doesn't matter what he drives, he still drives that way. I don't really think James Bond has made a major contribution to road safety.
I've been interested in watching what James Bond has done over the years to various different motor vehicles. I'm not sure what the contribution he has made to the industry is, but he has certainly done a fine job in demolishing many, many cars, some of them ours.
The way some racing drivers handle a car, you're glad they stay off the roads. But the way James Bond handles a car makes the racing drivers glad that he stays off the track.
God damn! What the? What's going on? What the hell are you doing now, boy? The bridge is that way! You're not thinking that.
I sure am, boy.
Ever heard of Evel Knievel?
And have you seen Bond in the wet? That Lotus will never be the same again.
Can you swim? Said goodbye to an uninvited guest.
It's good to know that Bond is one of the good guys. When you get down to it, it's the good guys against the bad guys, done with superb showmanship. Bond lives by an old adage that never fails in show business. Give him a good show and always travel first class.
I had a marvelous dream the other night. I dreamed I was James Bond. And you would have been proud of me. I was all dressed up in my Savile Row suit. And I was living it up. I had about 20 gorgeous creatures all over me and 20 more waiting in line. And every time a guy looked at me the wrong way, I'd zap him with my atomic monocle or blow him up with my nuclear ring. One time, 3 bums came at me and I knocked them all out with one blow.
Egyptian builders?
Well, I think James Bond would have made a damn good pro fighter. If he'd have kept away, from the dolly birds and stayed in training and stuck to the rules, been a great fighter.
Oh!
He's in trouble because I want you, Bond.
If I ever see him, I'll punch him right in the nose. Yeah, you can tell him that, too.
He never loses, and I don't like losing. I play to win. So, yeah, I'd want him on my side.
James Bond had quite an effect on me as a tennis player. When it came to the Secret Service, we both hit quite a few shots.
James Bond, well, I was glad that he took up golf rather than football. Otherwise, if he'd have been a midfield player, maybe I would have wasted half my career.
I'm still training him as a caddy.
Successfully, too.
Passenger number 1. Good.
If that's his original ball, I'm Arnold Palmer.
It isn't.
How do you know?
I'm standing on it.
Well, I guess if his name is Arnold Palmer, I must be James Bond. But James does have quite a game. I have played golf with him numerous times, and he's very gamesy on the golf course. As a matter of fact, he does very well with almost any opponent.
What's your game, Mr. Bond?
My game?
You didn't come here to play golf.
Anybody that can tackle odd job is going to get my vote. Did you see him crush that golf ball?
I've been late for a few airplanes in my time, but I've never tried catching one on a horse. I think only James Bond would try that.
Expose them, flaunt them, show them off. Your legs with personal touch.
Get smooth show-off legs with the cosmetic shave by Personal Touch. And now buy the blades or buy the razor and get this beautiful travel case free. Find details and savings in selected July women's magazines.
Expose them, flaunt them, show them off. Your legs with personal touch.
The cosmetic shave only by Personal Touch.
Hey. Yeah, you, Los Angeles. If you're heading for San Francisco or San Diego, you ought to be going Greyhound. They've got 5 times more departures than any bus or train. Plus, Greyhound can get you to San Francisco in as little as 7.5 hours. Chances are that's less time than if you drove yourself. So what are you waiting for? Pack your bags, Los Angeles.
Go Greyhound and leave the driving to us.
I'm off to the Orient for parts galore.
Why? Almost every import part is a cheap auto parts store.
Hi-ya! 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 Holy karate! Black belts! Yeah! And look, a cheap 40-month battery, just $29.95.
Prestone 2, only $2.97 a gallon with rebate.
Ram Extra Life air filters, just $3.29 each. Would you believe?
There's another sale at cheap.
The Toyota Standard Bed Truck presents the 5998 Workout. A workout that shows you how the biggest Standard engine in its class helped make Toyota the #1 selling line of import trucks in America. And with that kind of power and performance, you get a lot of working out for your 5998.
Now that's doing it right.
And after a workout, a shower can be mighty refreshing.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
I thought I lived my life dangerously, but did you see the way Bond escaped from those guys on motorbikes? Mind you, he was on a pair of skis. And if you think that was escaping, then have a look at this.
Oh, well, that's what I call flying the flag.
James Bond. There's a myth for you. A ladies' man, it's all a rumor. If he goes out with a girl now, he's got to take a young boy with him with a set of jump leads.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
You think we better, huh?
No, just different. Like Peking duck is different from Russian caviar, but I love them both.
Darling, I give you very best duck.
Well, that'd be lovely. We've had some interesting times together, Ling. I'd be sorry to go.
Take that door. The bed.
We're too late.
Well, at least he died on the job.
He'd have wanted it this way.
James Bond and I often go out together, and whenever we do, we always have 2 girls on our arms. His are holding him down, and mine are holding me up.
James Bond? I admire his style. The fast cars, the elegant clothes, the beautifully chilled bottle of Dom Perignon. For most women, that's irresistible. Oh, why?
Sorry, there's another in the fridge.
Who needs it?
My dear girl, there are some things that just aren't done. Such as drinking Dom Perignon 53 above a temperature of 38 degrees Fahrenheit. That's as bad as listening to the Beatles without earmuffs.
James Bond didn't used to play drums with the Tangerine Dream.
Abroad, he seems to stick out like a sore thumb because he looks like a kind of caricature of an English gentleman, or what we're supposed to think English gentlemen look like when they're abroad.
I doubt if I'm in your class.
Oh, you're too modest, Mr. Bond. Over there. You missed, Mr. Bond.
Did I?
This guy has a wonderful sense of humor, and also is a great shot.
For a woman, there's nothing more sexy than a man who makes her laugh. Now, not many men can do that, but James Bond can and does. But you've got to be careful. Some of his jokes can simply kill you. That's what it does.
I think he got the point.
Play it again, Sam.
Speaking as someone who's made rather stock in trade of other people's mistakes and blunders, what I've got against Bond is that he never seems to need to play it again, which is more than you could say for all those baddies he comes up against.
Shocking.
Where's Peckish? Where's Peckish?
Pyramids!
What a helpful chap.
I have one thing in common with James Bond, and that's travel. Like me, he's one of those people who can often be found in faraway places, exotic, like Singapore, Rio, or departure gate number 36 at Gatwick Airport. But it is amazing the way in which James Bond goes everywhere and seems to have no trouble at all in making himself understood to anybody.
Oh, eine gute Seite hat sogar ein Stromberg. Und wenn es nur sein Champagner ist. Dom Perignon 52.
Unsere Zusammenarbeit ist beendet, Commander.
In meinem Land pflegt man dem Verurteilten gewöhnlich einen letzten Wunsch zu gewähren.
It's not what you say. It's the way that you say it.
But wherever he is, James Bond always wins through, proving that even in the strangest of foreign lands, everything is possible if you have the skill, the daring, and the water purification tablets. Oh, and the means of getting there, however unusual.
Shake 'em up. Handle this contraption, Q. Goes by hot air.
Oh, then we can.
Now in the duel of the disposable razors between Bic and Good News.
Hold it, boys. Schick has a new disposable that beats them both.
New Schick disposable?
Right, this new Schick disposable beats Good News for sharpness.
This Schick is sharper than good news?
Yep, and Schick beats Bic for overall performance.
You know she's right. Why fight it?
Try the disposable that beats them both. The new Schick disposable.
It was the time of the month when I needed relief. If I asked my husband, he'd probably say, take Tylenol. But it's not that simple. There are certain times when women want more. That's when I take Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pamprin. It has as much aspirin-free pain reliever as extra-strength Tylenol for those aches and pains. And it's got more, a special ingredient to fight cramps, something Tylenol doesn't have. Maximum Cramp Relief Formula Pamprin. It's got more for when you want more.
Armor All Protectant for rubber, vinyl, and leather. Armor All. It's science, but it works like magic.
A sports car performing on a racetrack, that's expected. A Toyota SR5 sport truck doing it, that's incredible. But it's this kind of incredible performance that's helped make Toyota the #1 selling line of import trucks in America. And as incredible as this Toyota handles, that's how smooth and comfortable it rides.
That's incredible.
That's doing it right.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota. Sugar-free spice, reach deep inside you. Reach for a feeling that's right. Reach for a taste that's special. Sugar-free Sprite.
You know, sugar-free Sprite doesn't have any caffeine, but it does have something no other sugar-free soft drink has. Great lemon taste.
Reach for the lemon. Reach for the Sprite. Sugar-free Sprite. Sugar-free Sprite.
Now, pay attention, please. Windscreen bulletproof, as are the side and the rear windows. Revolving number plates naturally. Valid all countries.
Anything else?
Well, I won't keep you for more than an hour or so if you give me your undivided attention. We've installed some rather interesting modifications. Now, this one I'm particularly keen about. You see the gear lever here? Now, if you take the top off, you'll find a little red button. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Ejector seat, you're joking.
I never joke about my work, 007. Good.
That'll come in handy.
As one that's been exposed over the years to some of the diabolical devices that modern technology has provided to espionage, that I find them generally realistic and relative to the contemporary world.
This is now being issued as standard equipment. Strap it on your wrist. It's activated by nerve impulses from the wrist muscles.
Like this?
Oh, thank you. At least I shall have the pleasure of putting you out of my misery. Desolated Mr. Bond. Heartbroken, Mr. Drax. Allow me. Take a giant step for mankind.
I wonder where I heard that before.
One thing about James Bond is that he's very much into the high technology business, as we are. But I must admit, he's always stealing the jump on us by doing things sometime before we do. And he even managed to get a shuttle up before we do.
The wings are beginning to glow.
The most interesting thing about him is his lack of discipline, and I'm afraid in that respect, we would have to think twice about hiring him as an astronaut. There are some things that you really shouldn't do.
Houston calling Dr. Goodhead. Houston calling. Confirm your position.
We have audiovisual.
Ah, at last.
007. My God, what's Bond doing?
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.
think it may be time to go home.
Take me around the world one more time.
Why not?
Forgive the cliche, but watch this space.
Expose them, flaunt them, show them off. Your legs with personal touch.
Get smooth show-off legs with the cosmetic shave by Personal Touch. And now buy the blades or buy the razor and get this beautiful travel case free. Find details and savings in selected July women's magazines.
Expose them, flaunt them, show them off. Your legs with personal touch.
The cosmetic shave, only by Personal Touch.
A lot of airlines offer low fares to Hawaii, but only one, United, offers so much.
A big 747, you're seating in France. Friendly mages, island romance. Exotic drinks, Polynesian food. Music and movies to put you in the mood. The friendly skies bring Hawaii alive.
Only one airline gives you so much for so little. The airline that knows Hawaii best.
Let the friendly skies bring Hawaii alive.
The four-wheel drive decathlon. 10 reasons Toyota is the best-selling import 4x4 in America. This Toyota takes on hills, trails, streams, and mud holes. It clears rocks. It takes on deserts and beaches. It's built to work and play.
This Toyota's a champion at doing it right.
Okay, guys, I was a little off. We're not on Route 35. We're on Jackrabbit Road. Jackrabbit Road? Yeah, we're not in Pennsylvania. We're in West Virginia. West Virginia? They got some great-looking steaks inside. And Lowenbrow on top. Let's go.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Well, you really lucked out this time.
Yeah, I knew
Lowenbrow.
What are we doing here?
Well, right now, we're going to say a few words about James Bond.
James Bond. Great. What are we going to say?
Well, I don't really know where to start.
I do.
I bet you do.
I'd start by talking about his deep, dark eyes. And the way he looks at a woman.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh.
I think I'd start with his style, his skill, his expertise, his daring.
All right. You talk about that. I'll talk about his eyes.
Ability to be cool under fire and his English reserve, yes. We in the colonies do admire that.
Works with tigers. My method of training animals is touch, tone of voice, and telepathy. I'm a bit doubtful that the word sit would have any effect on crocodiles. But I feel one word might. Wookiee!
For some years now, we've all been charmed, staggered at times, and amused by Mr. Bond's air of total, although quiet, self-possession. He is, in fact, an immensely civilized man. He knows everything about everything. He happens to have this quality of attracting violence wherever his assignment take him. The violence is always regrettable, but inevitable. Bond's arrival at even the most idyllic spots on Earth transforms them into centers of mayhem and dramatic action.
There's a saying in England, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Bond is not a liberal by any means. I mean, Bond just drives right in there with a code and with a license to kill and with a very narrow view of the world.
He's a kind of Superman. He is Superman.
Those of us who've been conducting research on various aspects of violence over the years have really been quite interested in the case of this man, James Bond. Here we seem to have a classical example of paranoid delusions of persecution. Bond actually believes that people are out to kill him and to harm him. Bond, of course, believes quite sincerely that others are plotting his death behind his back. A typical paranoid delusion.
Chum, drink it. It even has my number on it.
Precisely.
Well, obviously, it's useless as a bullet. I mean, sir, who would pay $1 million to have me killed?
Jealous husbands, outraged chefs, humiliated tailors. The list is endless. Moreover, this trinket, as you call it, was sent with a note requesting special delivery to you. It's initialed with an S.
Scaramanga's fingerprints were on it. They've been verified by the CIA. Why would he alert me? Psychological. He counts on his reputation to terrify his intended victim.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Of course, none of these fears has any basis in reality. Bond is in no real danger. It's all in his mind. We all know that he's going to appear again to give us even more evidence of his psychological disturbance.
Sit down, Mr. Bond.
Your time's running out, Stromberg.
Yours too, Mr. Bond. Yours too. And faster than you think.
You've shot your boat, Stromberg. Now it's my turn.
To us, Mr. Bond, we are the best. There's a useful four-letter word, and you're full of it. When I kill, it's under specific orders of my government. And those I kill are themselves killers.
Oh, come, Mr. Bond. You disappoint me. You get as much fulfillment out of killing as I do, so why don't you admit it?
I admit killing you would be a pleasure.
You should have done that when you first saw me. But then, of course, the English don't consider it sporting to kill in cold blood, do they? Who are you working for, Professor?
Well, you might as well know, as you won't live to use the information. And what keep up?
Mr. Smith & Wesson. And you've had your 6.
You left this with Ferrara, I believe.
I find Bond very easy to despise and very difficult to dislike.
It's always good to know that whatever the odds, Bond is equipped to look after himself.